You're rolling home after a long day when it starts. A sharp tap, tap, tap under the hood, like a tiny hammer with anger issues. You turn the music up. Classic mistake. The tap becomes a knock. The knock becomes a slam. And before you can say tow truck, your engine is playing its final song. That whole chain began with a noise you could have fixed for the price of lunch. So here's a countdown of 10 engine noises you should never ignore, what they mean, what to check, and how to shut them up before they empty your wallet. Number 10. The typewriter tick at idle. A light rhythmic tick at idle usually points to thin oil, low oil, or hydraulic lifters that aren't pumping up. On older engines, it can be loose valve lash. On modern ones, think lifters, rockers, or cam followers asking for pressure. First move, check oil level and the correct viscosity. Overdue oil shears down and starves the top end. If fresh oil quiets it, great. If not, a sticky lifter or worn cam lobe can turn that polite tick into metal-on-metal drama. Act early and it's a quick save. Wait, and you're pricing a top-end rebuild. Number 9. Ping or rattle under load. Hear marbles in a can when you climb a hill or merge? That's spark knock. Air fuel lighting too early. Triggers, low octane, hot intake air, carbon buildup, raising compression, lazy EGR, or a numb knock sensor. Long-term, ping chips piston edges and abuses rings. Quick wins? Try higher octane. Clean the throttle body and intake. Install fresh, correctly gapped plugs. If it stays, timing or EGR needs attention. Fix now and it's a tune-up. Ignore it, and you're flirting with bottom-end pain. Number 8. Squeals and chirps from the front. A high-pitched squeal at startup, or when you steer, usually means a slipping serpentine belt or weak tensioner. A rhythmic chirp that speeds with RPM, classic idler, or tensioner bearing. That one belt runs your alternator, water pump, and power steering. If it fails, you can lose charging, cooling, and steering in one shrug. Inspect for cracks or glazing. With the belt off, spin pulleys. Any roughness, replace. Spend a little on bearings today, or a lot on accessories tomorrow. Number 7. Grinding or growling with RPM. A low growl that rises with RPM points to accessory bearings, alternator, AC compressor, or idlers. With the belt off, each pulley should spin smooth and quiet. Sandpaper feel? Replace. A nasty grind while cranking may mean the starter's nibbling the flywheel because it won't disengage. Hello, metal confetti. If the grind shows only with AC on, the compressor clutch is waving a white flag. Force it, and debris travels through the system, turning a small repair into a full AC rebuild. Number 6. Turbo siren, excessive whir, or sudden whoosh. Healthy turbos sing softly. A loud siren or dentist drill whine signals bearing trouble. A sudden whoosh, like a cracked window, often means a boost leak, torn intercooler hose, split plastic pipe, loose clamp. When boost leaks, the turbo overspins chasing target pressure. That's a fast way to retire it. Basics: check all charge pipes and clamps, feel for oily mist near joints, and, engine off, gently test for shaft play. Fix leaks early and keep the turbo. Ignore them and you'll be pricing a replacement. Number 5. Hissing, vacuum leaks, and coolant escapes. A steady hiss at idle usually equals a vacuum leak, split PCV hose, loose intake boot, brittle lines, or a leaky brake booster hose. The engine compensates by dumping more fuel, so mileage sinks and idle turns lumpy. Another hiss, with a sweet smell and faint white vapor, means coolant escaping is steam. Look for crusty residue at hose clamps, plastic tees, and radiator end tanks. Overheating is the quickest path to warped heads and gasket nightmares. A $5 clamp now beats a head job later. Number 4. Metallic rattle at idle, or when shifting into drive. A tinny rattle, loud at idle but fading with revs, is often a loose exhaust heat shield. Easy clamp and go fix. If the rattle seems inside the exhaust, the catalytic converter's honeycomb may be cracked. Pieces can shift, choke flow, overheat the bay, and light up the dash. If the rattle spikes when you drop into drive,
automatic, suspect worn motor mounts. When the engine sags, everything vibrates against everything. Replace mounts before they turn cheap parts into collateral damage. Number 3. Timing chain and oil drain back. A 1-second rattle right after start often means your oil filter lacks an anti-drain back valve. Oil drains out overnight, the top end wakes up dry. Use the correct filter and grade, done. A 2 to 5 second rattle, especially on engines known for chain stretch, points to tensioners bleeding down. Chains stretch, guides wear, tensioners get lazy, timing wanders. If the rattle grows longer or appears warm, don't wait. A jumped tooth can make valves and pistons become very expensive frenemies. Number 2. Deep knock, the bottom end thud. A heavy, dull knock that follows RPM, especially under light load, is often rod knock. Worn bearings between connecting rod and crank. Causes include low oil starvation in hard corners, or long wear. Once clearance is open, every power stroke hammers the journal and sends glitter through the oil. Exhaust leaks can mimic knock. Listen underneath. Exhaust ticks are sharp puffs. Rod knock is thick and angry. Reality check. This is rebuild or replace territory. Drive it and you're shopping for engines. Number 1. Pop misfire, shaky idle, and backfire pops. A rhythmic pop in the exhaust and a subwoofer idle means a cylinder isn't pulling its weight. Likely suspects: failing coil, worn spark plug, clogged injector, vacuum leak by that cylinder, or low compression. On modern cars, a flashing check engine light is the car begging you to stop. Unburned fuel cooks the catalytic converter from the inside. Quick checks: scan for codes, P03X names the cylinder, swap coils to see if the code follows, inspect plugs, consider injector cleaning. Coils often fail in families, so plan accordingly. What to do the second you hear it? Map it. When does the sound appear? Cold start, warm idle, cruise, acceleration, turning, AC on? Does it track engine RPM or road speed? Localize it. With the engine cold, hood up, listen from the front, both sides, then underneath. A short hose works as a budget stethoscope for alternator, idlers, and valve covers. Check basics: oil level, viscosity, coolant level, belt condition, loose heat shields, brittle hoses. Scan it. Use an OBD2 reader. Even a cheap one pays for itself in a weekend. Non-negotiables: flashing check engine light, deep knock, or rising temperature. Park it and tow. Towing is cheaper than rebuilding. Small habits, big savings. Match oil changes to your driving, not just the calendar. Lots of short trips, follow the severe service interval. Use manufacturer's spec viscosity and a quality filter with an anti-drain back valve. Replace belts and tensioners together. Rubber ages even when miles are low. At each service, inspect PCV and vacuum lines, look for coolant crust at joints, and spin accessory pulleys for roughness. Clean the MAF and throttle body on schedule. If you drive turbo, idle 30 seconds after a hot run to stabilize temps. Once a month, do a sound check loop. Radio off, windows down, light throttle at different speeds. Your ears catch bargains your wallet appreciates. Engines rarely fail in silence. They complain first. Ticks, pings, squeals, hisses, rattles, and that one heavy thud nobody wants to hear. Each sound is a postcard from a part asking for attention now, not after it spreads the pain. Catch the tick before it becomes a cam job. Clamp the rattle before it cooks a converter. Seal the hiss before heat warps ahead. Do that and your car returns to the best soundtrack it can have. A steady, calm hum that means every part is doing its job. Quiet engine, happy wallet, and miles that just melt away.